Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss Kanye West is officially a billionaire. Let's get right into it. After rounds of requests, the hip-hop mogul finally released his financial documents, revealing facts about his enormously successful Yeezy footwear brand and his obsession with external approval. There's only one number that West cares about, $1 billion, as in dollars, and he is concerned. He seemed happy at first when he was featured on the cover of Forbes last summer 2020, digging into his great accomplishment with Yeezy. Kim Kardashian West, his famous ex-wife, even congratulated him on Twitter to the delight of 32,300 of their closest Twitter friends. Forbes didn't declare him a billionaire since he didn't have enough proof to back up his uncommon shareholding, instead of relying on his word and industry estimates, and this irritated him. When Forbes' annual billionaires list came out, with West still missing, no documentation, and now a pandemic to boot, West reacted with hurt and vitriol once more. "You know what you're doing," he texted. "You're toying with me, and I'm not finna lie, sit down and take it anymore, in Jesus' name." At one point, he texted that Forbes was purposely a part of a group of media that was trying to suppress his self-made narrative because of his race, that Kylie Jenner, his sister-in-law, made the list, plainly irritated him. Then, in April 2020, there was a breakthrough. West instructed his team to deliver what we believe is an accurate numerical look into Kanye Inc. This exercise revealed three things. First, it confirms why we put him on the cover in the first place. West has built a brand that is challenging Nike's Air Jordan for sneaker supremacy in just a few years. It's one of the century's great retail success stories. Second, it confirmed that West, who claims to be worth more than $3 billion in both words and documents, is just as pompous as his political idol, President Donald Trump. Not a fan of numbers? We concur. Finally, and maybe most importantly for West, it confirms that his share in Yeezy makes him a billionaire, according to Forbes' calculations. Actually, it's a little more than $1 billion. In the process, Forbes revealed more information about Yeezy than ever been released before, as well as some insight into what motivates this 10-figure artist. Yeezy is a difficult asset to understand. It is completely owned by West. But, according to the records Forbes saw, it's operationally related to Adidas, which manufactures, advertises, and distributes the shoes. There's also an apparel division that we don't think is profitable. Last year, sources predicted the shoes would earn more than $1.5 billion in revenue in 2019. Adidas declined to comment then or now, but based on recent talks and internal records, we estimate the final revenue figure was closer to $1.3 billion. According to Forbes last year, West's deal with Adidas called for him to get a royalty of about 15% of Yeezy's income. A closer examination reveals that some expenses have been taken out of that slice, making his true cut closer to 11%. At that rate, he would have made almost $140 million in royalties from Yeezy sales last year. West's aggressive self-appraisal of $3 billion is clearly predicated on the notion that the company is indefinitely transferable. It isn't. Taking Yeezy away from Adidas looks almost hard, if not impossible, contractually. A more secure method of valuing it is as a royalty stream, similar to music publishing or film residuals. Multiples can range from 3 for a faddish asset like Cardi B's Bodak Yellow to 17 for an evergreen asset like Eddie Murphy's film Trading Places, dependent on services like royalty exchange or huge private transactions. If West's interests were ever made accessible to outside investors, a handful of experts surveyed believed it would command a multiple somewhere in the middle of that range. The Adidas approach is more convenient than publishing catalogs, which require owners to actively collect payments from a complex web of sources or outsource that job to someone else for a price. Royalty Exchange chief Matt Smith, who pegged the multiple at between 10 and 12, said, "His place in the capital stack is a preferred place to be. Conservatively, as we typically are with such figures, a 10 times multiple applied to West's Yeezy cut of $140 million makes his stake worth about $1.4 billion. But that's a private, highly illiquid $1.4 billion. Our rule of thumb for private assets like that is to lop off at least 10%. That's $1.26 billion. Buyers in that price level prefer their own features rather than Kanye's Belgian plaster. Therefore, customized real estate often sells for less than the money invested. There's $3,845,162 for vehicles and $297,050 for livestock if you want to start scraping. Then there's his music. West's GOOD label, as well as his own recorded music and publishing rights, are worth at least $90 million, according to the documents being analyzed. Self-evaluations are viewed with skepticism by Forbes. Apart from the music, half of this is presumably his wife's, though she's no slouch herself, and the math works both ways. We're taking a 50% haircut on all of this, leaving around $125 million in assets outside of his Yeezy crown jewel due to the illiquidity of these several assets and the absence of independent backup. Then there's the debt. Forbes estimated that West owes nearly $100 million in mortgages, advances, and other liabilities. Kanye West's current net worth is estimated to be $2 billion, which is $200 million higher than his ex-wife Kim Kardashian. Welcome to the 10-figure club, Kanye. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll produce for you guys. We're signing off now, but we will be sure to catch you all in the next one.